I had to sell my house, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. It was a cool house, an 1880s Victorian farmhouse on 5 acres. I had it all remodeled, but I'd made some bad business decisions early on, and to keep the finances alive, I had to sell it. And everyone told me, God wouldn't want you to sell your house. You should get a real job with benefits. You should quit your business. Part of starting my business included me going back to school. And then they also would say, are you sure you should be going to school? But I kept going, and I'm going to tell you the one thing that kept me from listening to them. Because if you don't have this locked down before you start your business, you will quit. You'll quit when it gets hard. Not maybe, you will. This content is from chapter 1 of my book, Business is a Journey, Not a Destination, and this is deciding where to go. So, why do you want to go on a trip? Where do you even want to go? What is the end goal destination of your trip? These questions are usually, at minimum, thought about when you take a vacation trip somewhere. Your business journey shouldn't be any different. Rarely do you just jump in your car and drive aimlessly, without an end goal destination. I will admit at times that maybe on a Sunday drive, you might just head for the country, without a destination in mind. But this is not the norm. Typically, at minimum, there's an end goal or a list of stops that you have in your mind, even though you haven't written them down. As a cheap getaway, my wife and I will take a day trip into the country. The less people and the more farm scenery, the better. It's a nice break from the busyness of life. We see the beauty of the scenic landscapes and the vacant roads. It's kind of like therapy to the road, to our souls. Even though there's no direct destination in mind, we do have a direction. Head south, away from the city. Owning a business should not be any different. An end goal, desired future, or a why must be thought out. If you're just doing a DBA, doing business as, say, a cake decorator in your home part-time, maybe a detailed goal destination may not be needed. Maybe it's just little side jobs, little side hustle, make a little extra money. But if you're looking to scale a business with multiple employees, an end goal or a why is needed. So what is your why? Do you want to help solve a problem? Are you tired of building someone else's dreams instead of your own? Do you want to provide an affordable service or product that'll help a certain group of people? Do you want to build a financial wall around your family so thick that nothing can penetrate it? Think about what your why is. This will give motivation to press on when the journey gets tough. And I promise you, it will be tough at times. After having your why written down, an end goal should be sought after. This might blend with your why, but maybe not. This is your end goal, the reason for starting your business. Just to provide X amount of revenue for these many years to pay for your kids' college. To provide a system that continually drops passive income into your bank no matter if you work or not. To build a business that can be sold at a huge profit so you can retire and spend your days on the beach with a mixed drink in your hand. Think about your desired future, what it looks like, and then chase after it. It does not matter what your why or even what looks like. What matters is that you have the desired future placed firm within your mind. Because I promise you, the time will come when things will look bleak. And those that you love and trust will tell you to give up on your dream. Without having the why nailed down, you will quit. Having your why or even what nailed down will help you dial in your vision of what you want your company to become. After being married for 15 years, and I had 3 children at the time, I started my first business. At the same time, I was chasing a college degree, And a friend of mine advised me to make sure if I was going to go in this direction to lock it down within my mind and then not stop no matter how bad it gets. And he kept pressuring me to do this. And I thought it was odd, but his reasoning was someone you love or someone who's close to you will come along when it gets tough and they will say, "Are you sure you should be going to school? You should maybe close your business. You should maybe drop out of school so you can provide better. Maybe you should go get a real job." I thought it was odd that he would say this, but I nailed this down, and he was right. A few years later, after making a bad business decision, losing a ton of money, those well-meaning people came out of the woodwork. And, since I wanted to stay in school, I wanted to stay self-employed, I was selling assets, including our personal home, and we moved into a rental townhouse for a few years. And this is when those well-meaning people that I was warned about, they came lurking. Are you sure you should stay in school? God wouldn't want you to sell your house. Maybe you should work for a major company again that has benefits. Believe me, I heard a lot of crazy stuff because people didn't understand my why. They did not understand where I was wanting to go and what type of future I was trying to build. Why would they? Because as my pain and loss increased, I questioned it. Why should I move forward in this insanity? I was selling most of my assets just to live. My why is what kept me going through the pain and negative circumstances, even though those around me didn't understand. So before you begin your journey, nail down why you want to go on this business journey. Or what are you trying to accomplish in the end, once arriving in your destination? Where is this business going? Remember, the true joy is the journey on the way to your end goal. So let me ask you again, where are you going? Why are you willing to suffer to get there? Because I can tell you right now, this journey will test you. You will have moments where you'll question everything. Where you're ready to walk away, where the people you trust most will tell you to quit. When I was selling my house, moving my family into a rental, watching everything fall apart, my why was the only thing that kept me from listening to them. Not my skills, not my business plan, not my confidence, my why. So if you're just starting out and you don't have your why locked down yet, stop everything else and figure this out first, because without it, you won't make it past probably year 2 when things get hard. If you're already in business and you're struggling right now, go back to the beginning. Why did you start this? What were you trying to build? Reconnect with that. Write it down again. Remind yourself why you're on this road. So in chapter 2, we're going to map out your destination, your business plan, your roadmap. So it'd be the actual steps to get you where you're going. But a map is useless if you don't know where you're going or even why you're traveling in the first place. So maybe drop your destination in the comments. Where are you going? Subscribe so you can catch chapter 2. And remember, the well-meaning people are coming. Prepare for them by locking down your why. This journey is your life. Know where you're going and why you're willing to go the distance. So see you in chapter 2. Thanks.